Hey guys, Ash here from C4 Tech along with my co-host Sundar and our EV, which has kind of replaced our trusty SIM ejector tool because Sundar keeps hiding the SIM ejector
And
tools.
the Mi Notebook Air.
And the Mi Notebook Air, which is, Sundar's not hiding the Mi Notebook Air, just the SIM ejector tool. So anyway, welcome to another episode of Ash Answers, one of the last episodes from this location. And by last episodes, I mean another 3, 4, 5 are remaining. But then again, just putting it out there. So Ash Answers is a show where
Hopefully we'll have the 100th episode in the new place. AshAnswers is a show where we answer the questions that you ask on Twitter using the hashtag AshAnswers.
So without further ado, we'll get to the questions.
By rooting, can we make our phones better?
Love to know.
Depends on what exactly you do after you root.
Yeah.
You could mess it up. I mean, there was a tweet right next to this. He said he faced some problem with his phone after rooting. His earpiece and speaker just conked out. Something like that.
See, as long as you can stick to the instructions, follow them. Generally, XD Developers is an awesome place. Very helpful forum. Unlike certain forums that I'm not gonna name, they don't have any kind of restrictions on like, please reply to see download link. Okay, so all your comments are nothing but thanks for 200 pages. All right, XDA forums. XDA Developer forums is like a awesome place where you've got stop. So that's like we had a fan visit. So we currently have a live audience of one person, but still nonetheless we have a live audience for the show. So anyway, XDA Developer is just like a place where people are super helpful. You have detailed instructions on how to get stuff done. So if you have a phone that brands aren't updating anymore and you can unlock the bootloader and whatnot, then do check out XDA Developer forums. You can root it, you can make it better, you can kind of put stock Android on it.
OnePlus One is currently running on Android 8 Oreo.
Yeah, so that's what you can do when you start rooting your devices. So I'd recommend not to do it as long as your phone's under warranty.
Yeah.
Once you're out of the warranty period, of course, it's very rare that brands provide updates to a phone after the first year, probably to some point in the second year. But if you're holding on to a phone after that, then rooting is a wonderful way to rejuvenate your phone, to keep it fresh, to do a lot of cool things. And it's been a long time since we did a video about rooting. Should we probably do something like 6 cool things you can do once you root your phone? Like, what are the coolest things you could probably do? Let us know in the comments below if that's something that would interest you, if you want to see that. And anyway, let's now move on to question number 2.
So when I buy a phone with a glass back or metal back, I get it because of the look and feel. Then I put a chunky phone case over it, which takes away the look as well as the feel in the name of damage protection. Comments, please. Irony.
That's why I usually don't put chunky cases. I go for a D-brand skin. I really wish D-brand was sponsoring this video. It would be a amazingly organic placement. Hey D-brand, if you're watching, can we get paid for this video? Probably not. But then see guys, jokes apart, that is why I use a D-brand skin on my phones or a thin transparent case. Okay, this looks like black because I just dunked the phone in water and you know what water does to these cases. But yeah, so this helps with grip, kind of takes away the whole smooth aspect of the phone. D-brand skins do the same thing and they do help, like some peace of mind when I put it down. I know I'm not going to scratch the back. But if you're like somebody, as in if you're like other people, then you might have to put a thick case on it. So in that case, it kind of...
I've got a case and an ugly tempered glass. Because protection.
Yeah, because he never uses it. He keeps taking phones from the office. So, anywho, coming back, that is what it is. It is kind of ironic that as phones start looking better, we need to start babying them around a lot more. If you go back a few years, look at something like, if you guys can guess what I'm going to talk about. There are 2 phones I'd probably talk about at this point. If you know it, pause right now, comment. Okay. Let's actually ask our live audience. Do you know which phone I'm going to talk about?
S9.
No. Okay, he didn't get it. But if we go a few years back, Lumia 920, that was built like a freaking tank. It looked beautiful. Yes, it was in glass. Yes, it was in metal. It was plastic. the Lumia 920 was exemplified that plastic doesn't need to be cheap.
Yeah.
Okay, I absolutely adore that phone. One of my ex-colleagues, a really good friend of mine, I gifted the phone to him many years back, and he still has the phone. It still runs well, calls and all that. It's still relatively smooth, smoother than a 2-year-old Android phone. Even an expensive 2-year-old Android phone, it's still pretty smooth. Sadly, Windows OS does not get updates or does
I
not get
recently
any
used a
apps.
Lumia 630. It was super smooth.
Yeah.
Really.
So that's one. And secondly, he has a toddler right now, and his daughter's like 5 years old. So she grew up with that phone. Okay, which means she dragged it around and everything. It's got few scratch marks to the back, but predominantly it still looks pristine. Okay, it looks really good. So that's one. And the other one I would probably mention is the Moto Turbo.
Okay.
Ballistic nylon. That would be something like that would be cool, but sadly these days we don't get it. But then again, this is where you can go for a D-brand skin.
What's your most memorable experience when shooting in public?
What's your most memorable experience?
I haven't shot in the public. Not.
It was actually when he was also around. We were shooting the day with the Honor 6X, right? So we were actually inside that bus, if you remember that picture.
Oh,
and then the driver came in and he's like, "No, you what were you doing over there?" I'm like, "Dude, we were shooting." And then he's like, "Delete it." And then somebody from the college came, and we were stuck there for like an hour. It was annoying, but still, they said you're not supposed to use the picture. Like, yeah, okay, and then we still used the picture, so that was cool. So
He asked us to delete the pictures.
Yeah, we quickly swapped the phones. Like Piyush gave me his phone, and then we showed the phone. See, we just don't have anything on. And they're like, "Okay, cool, all right." Man, we weren't doing anything wrong. We were just shooting a bus that's on the road.
Yeah.
It was on public property.
Is Mi becoming the new Apple as MIUI 9 is coming to some of the oldest devices that Mi has launched as Redmi 3 and Redmi 1? Your thoughts on the same?
I would like to know your thoughts on the same.
I frankly think what Xiaomi is doing is quite commendable.
Mm-hmm.
Given that it may not see the Redmi Note 3 is still on Marshmallow, but the thing is, MIUI with Xiaomi, MIUI is what gets the most features. Not like for example, the Nougat update on most Xiaomi devices didn't get switch screen multitasking, split screen multitasking, and quick switch. I kind of combined both. Yeah, MIUI 9 update got it. So Xiaomi mostly bring their new features with their MIUI updates and not the Nougat or the Android version upgrades.
Okay, so
I don't want to compare it to Apple.
So that's blasphemy to compare anything to Apple. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Then why wouldn't you want to compare it to Apple? I'm just asking you. I'm just curious. Just give me
No,
1 second. So guys, we had to cut in between because Sundar kind of told me I'm not allowed to talk about this anymore. So, I mean, if that wasn't true, ask him to not cut the entire part and just play how he threatened me right now. All right, I'm just saying, we have a live audience. We know, we have proof. So, there would be a cut over there because he said we are not supposed to answer.
Do you really think I would still be sitting here if I actually threatened him?
Do you really think that would be a cut if he didn't threaten me? I'm just saying. Anywho, coming back. See guys, MIUI 9, yes, like Sundar said, MIUI does bring new features with it. But the older phones don't get all the features. Yes, they do give MIUI 9.
With Apple, right?
Old phones don't get
all
comparison right now after threatening me not to do it.
I didn't threaten you not to do it.
No. See, what I'm saying is it is a little different from what Apple does because Apple's giving you the whole OS. Yes, they are depreciating parts of the OS, but over here is just MIUI. The Android variant does not upgrade, as in does not get changed. So it's like, I'm happy. On one hand, I'm happy that Xiaomi is still paying attention to the old devices. And on the other hand, I'm a little bummed out that the latest variant of Android isn't coming over. It might not bother a lot.
Yeah, okay. My bad.
It might not bother a lot of people, but as phones age and as newer variants of Android come out, some apps aren't compatible with older Android variants anymore. It doesn't happen as quick as like once Oreo is out, it doesn't happen to Marshmallow, but at times it does happen to some older variants of Android, versions of Android. So that's one area I'm a little bummed about, but I'm not going to compare it to Apple because well, Apple doesn't have those restrictions. There is no, if a phone supports iOS 10, then all iOS 10 apps run on it. Yes, Apple's features get appreciated, but it's not like it's on iOS 7 with iOS 10 skin or something like that. So that's a tiny little difference.
It's still better than not getting any sort of update.
Definitely, 100%. So it's much better than that, but still not.
After testing out
Did I
a
say that correctly? The way you wanted me to? Are you happy now?
After testing out a flagship when you moved your SIM to a subpar mid-ranger, does it break your heart? Which is the one transition you can recall which is etched in your mind?
What was I really think there was one recent transition that really
Recent?
that was kind of weird. I don't remember.
It must be Pixel to budget phone.
No, there was a Redmi Note 5 Pro I think I went to from the Pixel. That wasn't bad. Note 5 Pro was not bad at all. I don't remember. Right now I'm actually moving from the S9 Plus to the Redmi 5 Plus. Redmi 5, I'm sorry, Redmi 5. So these days it doesn't really bother me that much because, well, most phones are, we have a video coming on it soon. So again guys, I didn't pick the questions, I didn't do it with the intention of a pre-card, but yeah. Sometimes it annoys me, like in the past it used to drive me nuts when I went from a Nexus phone to a Micromax or something. We've reviewed a few of those in the past. That would be kind of weird. But these days it's fine, as in your experience is still good enough on even a 7,000, 8,000 rupee budget phone. So we've come a real long way since the time of the spices and the lavas and the carbons and the Micromaxes. So yay to technology.
What would you prefer? Really fast UI with no extra features, or not so fast but smooth UI with lots of intuitive features?
That's a question we've picked. Sundar Software has picked for around the millionth time. We've answered it like a...
Yeah, basically he's asking if we prefer
a fast UI without features, or
Pixel
a
2
slow
or
UI.
a S9 Plus.
Yeah.
Basically.
What would you prefer?
Pixel 2.
See, for me, it's not an either or. If Samsung's UI is not fast enough, then I'm going to say Samsung, you need to improve your UI. It's not like when there are features, it doesn't necessarily need to slow down the UI. Emotion UI or MUI has a lot of features. It's quite fast as well. In fact, last year, their flagship, Huawei's flagship, went toe-to-toe with the OnePlus 5T or the OnePlus 5. Alright? Why are you not nodding your head?
No.
Did I say something wrong? Honor 8 Pro versus the OnePlus 5.
Yeah.
That was on par. I mean, yes, the OnePlus 5 did eventually win, but Honor 8 Pro is really super fast. So again, we've seen that from Xiaomi multiple times. Like what happened to the Mi A1 versus Mi 5X?
Mi 5X.
The Mi 5X did win that one.
No.
A1 won?
Mi 1.
Mi A1 won. Alright, the Mi A1 did win that one. So that wasn't really the example I wanted to talk about. But then Xiaomi does do that from time to time. Their 820 phones were quite fast. So I'd want it all. I'm greedy. Go ahead, sue me. I want it all. I want the features. I want the snappiness. But right now, as things are, the way Sundar put it, S9 Plus or Pixel 3, from a user interface standpoint, I'd go Pixel 3. I still want the S9 Plus's low light.
Pixel 3 might have a better OLED performance.
Might. See guys, that's a new living room. You can't see it. Probably not. But if you can, see that's a new living room. Work is happening. That's why I got interrupted.
Would it be a real upgrade if I buy Redmi Note 5 Pro over my Redmi Note 3, which I'm currently using? As Note 3 is already on Snapdragon 650 and Pro comes with 636. Apart from camera, will it be a real upgrade? Or else I should wait for Nokia 7 Plus?
You know what? This would actually be good if somebody did a speed test of the Redmi Note 3 versus the Redmi Note 5 Pro, as in 650 versus 636. That would, kind of
would give
show
you an
you.
idea, right?
Yeah.
Should we do one?
That's what Sundar would ask. But what I'm saying is we already have shot the video. Sundar has done it. And that goes live on...
The day after. Or...
Monday, right?
No, tomorrow, probably. Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow is the day after for us. We're shooting it on a Saturday. You're watching it on a Sunday. It goes live on Monday.
Yeah.
We've got 2 videos for Monday. And we've got multiple videos halfway through production.
You can guess right now, like, which would be faster.
What do you think would be faster? Note 3 or Note 5?
Yeah.
636 or 650? What is the bigger number?
Your thoughts on Redmi Note 5 China version with 1.9 aperture? Also, can you make hands-on? Hope you enjoyed it.
We did a video on that and there's a card to it. I don't know why Sundar keeps picking up video questions like this so that we can just throw cards. But thank you. That was my video. I'm happy with that. Hands-on, I will try, guys. I asked you in the video if you'd want to see me do it. And a lot of you were interested. So I'm going to try to source it. And as soon as I manage to get my hands on it, I'll do it. Let's see how much better the camera is.
What's the new tablet that's featured in AshAnswers?
The Eve V, and Sundar is working on a video on it, and this is a pre-card, so go ahead.
Not a pre-card.
Okay, so he's not working a video on it. You won't see a video go live on the
As
Eve
it is, I miss cards. So do you think I'm gonna put a card after Wednesday, after whenever this video goes live?
If it doesn't go live on Wednesday, you can hit him on the head.
It will. I have budget to buy 5T now. I want to buy a phone. Should I wait for 6? How about S8 option now?
See, is your current phone functioning well enough? If it's functioning well enough, wait for the 6. If you have a problem with your phone, you need to upgrade today, go get the 5T. Isn't the S8 and the 5T aren't in the same segment anymore? I mean, aren't in the same segment and weren't in the same segment ever. So if you want to go higher, then yeah, the S8 you can still consider it. It's a good phone. You just don't get the camera fakery.
Camera,
Yeah.
OnePlus 6 with a notch. Would you hate it or love it? Anything related to Apple, you look at me.
Aren't you all looking at him when an Apple question comes up? Most people don't even remember my face. If we shoot a AshAnswers with only Apple questions, I don't think one person would be looking at me.
See, I was kind of pissed with a lot of brands for doing it, but then
Yeah, you can't copy what Apple does. You just can't be pissed.
You can copy what Apple does, but you can copy what Apple does good.
But
Not the notch.
I mean, they're in reality, you understand they're copying the Essential phone, not Apple.
Yeah, to an extent, yes.
Why is it to an extent? Didn't Essential do it first?
They did do it first.
So Apple copied Essential. Essentially,
I don't know, the
copy
implementation
Essential.
looks more like the iPhone 10s than the Essential phones.
Okay, so if
You know what I'm talking about.
I'm just asking you, so who did it first, the notch?
Essential.
Okay, so anybody doing it after that is copying Essential.
Yeah.
Just clarification. Did you see the rage in his face before he smiled? Go back for around 20 seconds and just watch it again, and then you'd know why I asked for the hashtag poor Ash. Just watch it. It's all on cam.
Yeah, you can watch it. Yeah, but
So-
then going by how things are, I guess I'd have to be, I don't know, I won't be excited, but yeah, I'll probably not react at all. Fine, this is the OnePlus 6, fine.
See guys, I don't hate the notch. Okay,
I
go
don't
ahead.
hate it either, but yeah.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Can I go now? I'm putting my hand up. Can I talk?
Yeah.
Alright. So I don't really hate the notch. I hate Apple's implementation. And as in, at least when I was using the iPhone 10, I don't know if it's gotten updates or something. The videos kind of warp around the sides and I really hate it. When I'm watching a video, I don't want to see the notch. Alright, please let that entirely be black. Let me hold it this way. Okay, let me think of it as an ebook reader. I don't care. Give me, tablet, one area. Let it be a big, thick bezel and I'll watch it. While using, I'm kind of cool with the notch. It looks weird. It looks different. I'm so used to rectangular screens. This is something weird and different. I'm totally cool with it. I don't have a problem. But with videos, that's where it annoys me. Barring that, I'm cool. And one more thing, I think Sundar actually pointed this out in a little while back. Yes, add a notch. But if you're gonna do something that Apple did, then at least give us thin bottom bezels. If the bezels are gonna be thick, then what's the point in adding a notch? Apple did it to stretch as much as possible. Yes, I understand. Not a fan. I don't love it. At the same time, I don't hate it. I'm okay with it. But I don't see why brands should do it if they already have thick bezels above the notch and below the notch, below the display. It just doesn't make sense for me. So it depends on what OnePlus's implementation would be. If they have almost the full front of the phone as display and they have a notch, I'm going to be cool with
Absolutely
that. Props to OnePlus. Good job. But if they're going to have a chunky bezel to the bottom and a chunky bezel above the notch,
No point.
I actually like, I don't know if it's true, but the Mi Mix 2S notch, the renders we're seeing, I'm loving it. The notch to the side. Way to go, Xiaomi, if that's what Xiaomi delivers on.
Kind of not noticeable, very noticeable.
That's fine. I mean, take the corners. I mean, take all 4 corners. We'll have a diamond display. Whatever.
Why OnePlus doesn't provide always-on display despite having power-efficient AMOLED panel?
Don't
They
they do?
actually do.
They do.
Yeah, it's called ambient display.
Yep. I mean, it's not always on, but then you can just, like, as in, for all intents and purposes.
Did Sundar return your iPhone 10 back?
Finally!
Did Sundar crack its camera that you thought after watching footage shot on iPhone 10? Please pick this question as everyone wants to know.
He didn't crack the camera, at least that's what he says.
I showed you.
He didn't. I don't know, he super glued it back or something, but he didn't crack the camera. But then again, after a long time, he did manage to get me the phone, so he probably got it. He
You know, I
probably got the
was so
camera
sure
changed or
I didn't
something.
crack the camera. When you asked me on WhatsApp, I didn't even check the phone. I just said no because I was extremely careful with both phones, Note 8 and the iPhone 10. I had both phones with me all the time.
He probably got the camera replaced. It's happened in the past. He broke my Note 4 and he didn't tell me. He just went and got the display replaced. True story.
In Spain, I didn't know where to go.
That's why you didn't give it back to me for a week and a half after he came. Okay, now I started off on a comedic path, but right now it's feeling all too real. Is that why you didn't return the phone for 10 days?
Not 10 days. I returned in like 2 days.
Apple Care replacements in 2 days.
I didn't have the bill.
Apple service easy to deal with. You paid for it. God only knows. Whatever. Moving on. The iPhone 10 is alive and well.
We all know how you met Harris and Sundar. We want to know how you met Shahrukh and Amartya.
Once upon a time, I was at a zoo.
You were?
At a zoo. That was my first answer when people ask me how I met Sundar. So Shahrukh, Sundar, me, all from the same apartment. So College Harish was, once I was on Periscope and College Harish just messaged me saying... He just messaged me saying, can I come? I mean, I'd like to work for C4 Retech. And I was like, just mail me. He mailed me. I asked for a, I don't know, kind of sort of like an audition tape where like you read something or whatever. He sent that clip to me. It was fine. So then I asked him to come in. Fun story. He came in thinking an intern is somebody who pays to work. And then I'm like, no, you don't pay. I pay you. He's like, yay, that's cool. So that's the story of College Harish coming to C4 Retech. And the story of why he's called College Harish, that's a different story. A lot of you know. If you know it, help others out in the comments. And Amartya was again somebody who used to comment a lot on our videos on Twitter. And then we started communicating, we started talking, and a year or so later, he was like, he was kind of free. He was looking for a job, and I was like, why don't you help us out with some writing work and all that. And it was actually more of a, he wasn't actually working for us. We used to talk, and suddenly I'd be like, dude, I just finished the script, you want to look it over? He'd just look over and suggest some things. A lot of, if this is your first time here, or those corny lines are all Amartya. I mean, not all, like around, in the last 3 months, probably 40-50% of it was Amartya. So he used to like go through stuff like that, and then I was like, why don't you come on?
And all those Project Rebel lines.
All the Project Rebel lines. He loves Project Rebel. So any script you see Project Rebel being mentioned, that's basically Amartya writing 10 lines about it and we switching it to 1 line. Alright, so anywho, that's the story of Amartya. So then he was working from Kolkata, and then he moved to Chennai back in mid-December, I think. So he's been here full-time since then.
End of November, yes. Best portrait capturing mobile phone below 30,000 rupees.
Okay, what do you think? Break the iPhone 10, give them half an iPhone 10, like 1/3 of an iPhone 10? No. Just the selfie camera part. Okay.
So, we have a poll running on Twitter. Go check it out.
Yes.
That's all I'm supposed to say right now.
Yes. There is a poll on Twitter where we've been comparing portrait mode pictures shot with two
One
different
front
phones.
portrait, one rear portrait, one regular image under good lighting conditions, and one a regular selfie.
So one of those was shot with the iPhone 10, the other one was shot with a Micromax. Not really, but they were shot with different phones, and you will know more.
One of them might be under
Wednesday.
30,000 rupees.
You'll know more on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Choose your Wednesday.
Will Xiaomi's entrance to the TV segment disrupt the segment, which is 70%, 75% owned by LG and Samsung?
I'm pretty sure right now there are Sony fanboys who are livid. They're on their keyboards going, "What? It is Sony." I'm pretty sure, and I apologize for Deepak's lack of knowledge. It's all Sony. I'm sorry. I don't mind angering Samsung fanboys. I really don't mind angering Apple fanboys. At best, they're gonna break a couple of my phones. I don't mind angering LG fanboys. Those two people who work for LG. Okay, but Sony fanboys, I'm really afraid of. Like late at night when I'm like riding on the road and I'm like, Sony. Somebody walks in. I'm like, Sony's awesome. I'm sorry. Okay, because I really am afraid of Sony fanboys. They are the worst. They are the most passionate bunch. Brand loyalty. I haven't seen more brand loyalty for a brand than Sony. I mean, seriously, always in the news, people talk about Apple fanboys, Samsung fanboys. They're nothing compared to Sony. So anyway, my apologies to Sony fans. Xiaomi's entrance. Right now, Xiaomi isn't targeting Samsung. They aren't targeting LG. Their TVs are priced much lower. As in, not the flagship ones. The low-end segment, yes, Xiaomi's gonna dominate it. Definitely. That's at least
They're
what I feel.
competing with
The views
and Micromax.
Micromaxes, and Micromax is like bleh.
Yeah, Micromax is doing quite
He
well.
has a Micromax TV.
I don't.
Doesn't your dad have one in the office?
Ah, yeah.
See, he has so many TVs he doesn't even know what he has. Caught red-handed. So yeah, I think in the mid-range segment they're gonna make a huge dent. But then again, that is only if they have the units. I mean, 50% of the people might be willing to buy it, but if you only have units to serve 1% of the market, there is no way people are going to be able to buy it. So yeah, Xiaomi, if you're watching, please bring stocks. I understand you need flash sales, but please bring stocks. Pretty please. We have a giveaway running, and I need to be able to buy a Mi TV 32-inch to give it. Alright, so please, stocks.
Okay, let's do this. Let's see who's using the oldest smartphone among our subscribers as of today. Share your experiences as well.
Here you go. There's one guy who's on a OnePlus One with the 8.1 ROM. And here's a fun fact. This is called 8.0. The S9 Plus 8.0. And he's on a OnePlus One with 8.1. For the guy who asked about rooting, that's what you can do with rooting.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's the oldest? Let's see who's got the oldest phone amongst everyone.
Anything that came before OnePlus One?
Yeah.
If you have it, just.
But I
let
guess
us know
I
in
am
the
the one with
comments.
the oldest phone. I have the oldest phone. I have the
Lenovo
K920. I still have a Galaxy Note 1. That doesn't work though. So working phones have a Lenovo K920.
You're supposed to be using it, right?
Taj actually uses it. She has a one SIM in it. I don't know if she does anymore. But yeah.
That way I have a Redmi 1S Prime.
Cool. So what's the oldest phone you have? Who's using a phone that's the oldest as a primary device? That would be a better question. So yeah, what's your primary device? If it's an old phone, if it's over 2 years old, let's see who's got the oldest phone. Let us know in the comments below. PT Dub, I want to give a big shout out to Bharat. That was an excellent question. That was awesome. And kudos on having a OnePlus One with 8.1. How's it running?
Kudos to the software for picking it. Why Samsung whole Snapdragon chipset?
All those of you last week who went on to comments and you're like, why are you rolling your eyes when Sundar is talking? To every one of you, don't you think that deserved an eye roll? Seriously?
Infinity War trailer, your reactions.
I haven't seen it yet.
You're a Marvel fan.
I am. I haven't seen it yet. I wanted to. Yesterday also I saw it. I saw an article somewhere about why CGI is not a good option for antagonists and stuff. That was on my to read. But then today has been hectic.
Oh,
Guys,
okay.
I've done 6 voiceovers today. And this is my 7th video for the day. And how many voiceovers has Sundar done today?
I knew you were gonna make people think I did nothing today.
Okay, it's not like he didn't do anything today. He did edit like one of those videos, but so did Shahrukh, so did Amartya. I'm just saying. Okay, he did a lot of work today. All right, he did.
I still
then
have
again,
a lot to do.
He still has a lot to do. It's 8:30 in the evening, and once we are done with this, he's gotta go edit AshAnswers, get a thumbnail, upload it, timestamps, description, all that stuff. That's Sundar.
And there's another video.
There's one more video he's working on. So anyway, guys, I really wanted to watch it. I haven't done it yet, but by the time AshAnswers goes live, I would have watched it.
Is 960 FPS slow-mo just a gimmick or it has a practical use because it's just 0.2 seconds and super hard to use?
Can you read the hashtags?
Lighthouse.
What's the lighthouse at hashtag?
That's what people used to call me with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that's because you posted the selfie from the lighthouse. That is what
No, not people
were
as
talking
in my schoolmates.
about. Oh. Is that
I
your school
posted
name?
it on Twitter, right? No, this is not.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
No favoritism in picking questions?
Oh.
Okay, just see guys, you could call it a gimmick if you wanted to, but realistically it's super cool. Again, I'm sorry Sony fanboys, I didn't talk about it when Sony came out with it the last time, but that's because most people didn't care about the phone. Anyway, see 960 FPS, whether Sony does it or Samsung does it, jokes apart, it is something cool.
Yeah.
Is it difficult to capture? Yes, it is.
It's worth it.
But it's worth it. It's worth trying. It's just super cool. It's not something we can do with our last week. The last shot that was basically with the FS7 that was shot at 60 FPS, slowed down. But 960 FPS is gonna be even slower.
That was actually as slow as a Samsung S9 slow motion.
Oh, you did the
I
optical
made
flow.
it, yeah.
Yeah, that was with software. But yeah, with any.
I didn't know the interpolation would turn out to be so good, but it was.
Okay.
So
It still wouldn't have been as slow. How many percent did you go down to?
10.
10%. So that was he basically did 6 frames per second and interpolated the rest. That's fine, but still that's 10x, right? 30 into that's 36x though. Samsung.
50%. Yeah.
That's 10x. Samsung is still 3.5 times slower than that.
I'll try 2%.
960
this time.
FPS, 2% next time. So anyway, guys, that's 960 FPS. It's difficult to get for if you're just shooting day to day, your regular pictures. I still think you can get something cool like that you could use with probably Boomerang or something.
You might have to try twice or thrice, but yeah, you can definitely get it.
Yeah, some of
Like
the
if you watch the video that we
did, yeah.
People were playing volleyball and it did take twice or thrice for us to get a perfect shot. We did end up putting everything in the video anyway.
Yeah.
But then
So it is something very unique and different, and I'm a fan. Again, I'm a fan of any brand that implements it, not just Samsung, even Sony. So please don't hate me. I'm gonna get a t-shirt. I'm afraid of Sony fanboys.
why don't you guys express your opinions on camera performance on your reviews?
That's because we are not gonna talk about camera performance at all. We don't talk about camera. Why should we talk about camera? Dude, you need to understand what's a review and what's an unboxing. Unboxings are not reviews. Unboxings, no matter what people call it, it is not a review. A review is when we've used something. In an unboxing, if I talk about, hey, the camera looks awesome, it's amazing, then I'm just I don't know, switching to Tamil for a moment while I vara solran. Alright, I'm just somebody translated. What is the phrase I'm looking for? I don't know, I'm selling snake oil, you know. How can you assess camera within seconds? If we can assess camera within seconds, why do we have camera reviews that we spend hours and days on, different lighting conditions and everything? So it's just initial impressions looking at it. Yes, I could still say it looks nice, it doesn't look nice, whatever, but then that's the same thing you can say by just looking at it. So I prefer to just quickly get some camera samples, throw it all in there and ask you guys, what do you feel about it? Because what I feel about it, I'll definitely come back to you within a week or something. These days our reviews do come out super fast. We are, tightening up our schedules. So That's why on unboxings we don't really talk about the camera performance. We do give you the specs, we do give you some samples for you to assess, give you a taste of how things look, but I don't want to lead people in the wrong direction by saying yeah it's good or it's bad. The same reason why we don't talk about performance either. We talk about what it has, and performance we can talk about it a little bit more because well a 625 that Xiaomi's used in like 273 phones. We get it Xiaomi, you love 625, we get it how MIUI runs on 625. You know, we can talk about something like that, but the camera it is what it is.
Maybe if a brand does something like what Samsung did, like bringing 960 FPS slow-mo, then we get like so excited that we'd want to try it right away.
Yeah, but even then we aren't talking about final
exactly.
How we feel about it. It's like, hey, this is that, it's cool. This is easy to use, this is difficult to use, oh my god. No, we don't do that. Let's save that for the detailed camera review or a full review or whatever.
What's that one phone you always come back to? Question to both.
I didn't have that phone for the last few years. It used to be the Note. It always used to be the Note. And then I got super busy. I didn't have time to come back to a phone. But then we cut down our workload. And ever since it's been the Pixel. The Pixel 2. Yes, I'm on the S9 Plus right now, but I want to go back to the Pixel 2. I like selfies.
You had
I'm a selfie
the option
fanboy.
to move to Pixel 2 a week back, right?
I did, but I didn't want to go back to it because I knew I was going to switch immediately. So now that the Redmi 5 is here, I'd probably use the Redmi 5. I'm jumping to Redmi 5 right now. So
for me, it has to be the Mi 6. That's the only phone I have.
no, but to be honest, it's I like the Pixel 2 more because of its selfies. And yeah, it's not because selfies are too high on my priorities, but it's just that the last few months are the first time in like years that I've been traveling a little bit. So when I'm going out with my family, I'd like to get a few selfies. I mean, on a regular day, I'd still choose the Pixel for stock Android. I like it.
It's also super snappy.
But then now the low light makes it a little tempting. Hey, I've got a D-brand skin on it. Again.
People are actually going to think this video is
Sponsored by D-brand.
Actually not.
It's not. We don't have a sponsor. We haven't had a sponsor for AshAnswers since the brand that should not be mentioned.
Is there any use of 4K recording in Full HD or 2K display smartphones? Can we really enjoy 4K video quality on Full HD or 2K resolution displays?
It's not about enjoying it on the
Display,
phone itself. It's about being able to watch it on a monitor, or if you're going to be if you're shooting in 4K, you could actually zoom in a little bit and you still get good quality.
Yeah, and even if it's a 1080p monitor, you'd still be able to notice the difference between a 1080p and a 4K footage.
Because it's still turns out
sharper. Are you excited for AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura this WrestleMania? Who do you cheer for?
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm not following WWE.
Yeah. Yes, I am. But here's the sad part, right? I mean, anybody who's watched indie wrestling, you'd know. My friend Ramesh was here, and we were just watching that 6-star match, Omega versus Okada. If anyone has the remotest bit of interest in wrestling, professional wrestling, then you need to watch that match. They had a series of 3 matches, Omega versus Okada. They got 6-star ratings from Meltzer, like the first time that's happened. They were amazing matches. We were just watching that and we were like, God, we hope Kenny Omega doesn't end up in the WWE, because once wrestlers come to WWE, it's a longer schedule. As a big brand, WWE wants to minimize injuries and stuff. So you look at it, Nakamura's moveset from his NJPW, New Japan Pro Wrestling days, and again AJ Styles' moveset from NJPW or TNA days, they've been kind of stripped down. They just don't have that moveset anymore. So yes, I'm super excited to watch the match, but I really wish, I know a lot of you might hate me for saying it, I really wish it was happening in NJPW. I think it has happened in NJPW, I'm not sure, rather than WrestleMania, because WWE has limitations on what you're allowed to do.
I kind of stopped following WWE. I think there's a Undertaker versus John Cena match coming up.
I don't think so.
Don't think so?
I think Cena said it won't happen, like he was gonna go against some things. I don't know, I just follow the dirt sheets. I do watch NJPW from time to time. I used to watch Impact Wrestling, but then that's like a mess these days. Most of the talent is in WWE anyway.
That's it.
So those are all the questions that Sundar Software, Threadripper, God only knows who picked for today's episode of Ash Answers. And can you come in? A big shout out to this guy. He actually managed to come into the office. Shriyari, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And he has, on his phone, he has 92 episodes of Ash Answers downloaded. That was
Insane.
That is insane. And 3 years back on a video, I did mention my mom's birthday, and he just came and told me my mom's birthday. I kind of get confused between 2 dates, so I called up my mom and she was like, "Yay, you finally managed to get over your confusion." I'm like, "No, he told me that." See, there you go. He's got like 92 episodes, 91 episodes of whatever Ash Answers on his phone. He transfers it to his PC, but then he does download it. So that's awesome. So that's, I just wanted to say, cool. So anyway, those are all the questions that were picked for today. I'm just gonna say were picked for today's episode of Ash Answers. If you hated the video, you know what to do. But if you did like it, go ahead, give it a big, huge thumbs up, and big, huge thumbs up for me for doing my 7th voiceover in the day. A big, huge thumbs up for Sundar for doing his first voiceover in the day. And that's pretty much it. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. That's my co-host Sundar, and that's our EV. And
we are leaving for the moment. Have a nice day.
Or if you're watching it at night, goodbye and good night. The club.
Sweet dreams.